Welcome to Unlimited Appetizers, the show where we simulate killing time while waiting for your food at a restaurant. I am your host, Erin.
And I am your Sorcerer 3 meat, because I don't like mushrooms, so not Sorcerer Supreme.
I didn't even notice you putting that on.
I pulled it on during the segment. This is what I ran home to get right before we recorded.
I did not even notice that you were wearing that until just now when you said it, and I was like, oh, he's doing something. He's like doing a thing right now.
Do you remember this fit from what it's from?
Was it from a show?
No, way long ago. No, way long ago, we did I DM'd for you and a bunch of our friends a drinking D&D session.
Yes, that was in my kitchen when I lived with my parents. That was so fun. I was Keemstar. My character was like basically Keemstar. That was really fun. I forgot you were wearing something for that.
Yeah, I wore this. I bought this like dumb sorcerer outfit, like this DM sorcerer outfit, and like we're like an episode off from Halloween episode, so
yeah,
this is mine for today.
Yeah, mine is this is like I think the last Halloween shirt in my cycle, and then I like didn't, my hair looked bad and I was like, all right, I should put like a hat on or something, and I was like, what's Halloweeny? And I was like, well, I have a corpse beanie, like corpse husband. There you go.
I mean, I feel like that works no matter what, because if anything, you have a hat that says corpse on it, and that's like a dead thing.
That's very true. Today it was a struggle getting here. Like both of us were like rushing kind of last minute. I know this is a common theme that we talk about at the beginning of the podcast a lot.
We've just had a lot of busy weeks.
Yeah, like yes, it's been like crazy the last like month or two. I'm hoping things start calming down, but I always say that and then nothing calms down. We were just doing MagFest booking before this, me and some of my friends, and that's always like, you know, it's like the Hunger Games. News, there is a Cookie Run BTS collab that is starting like today.
How do you feel about that?
I want to see, I haven't opened the app yet. I want to see what the event is like, because the Disney one was like fun, and if it's kind of like that, I'm like, okay. But also like, I only really cared about the Disney one because like the Disney cookies were like fun, and I have a feeling they're gonna do like the same thing. They basically made like cookies that are not playable, that just kind of like walk around your town, and it's like fun to have them, but they don't like do anything. But I think they also usually release like a normal one along with it. But yeah.
So you hope you're excited for your boy band cookies.
So excited. Now I'm gonna actually learn all their names.
I think I know all their names. How many members of them are there? 5?
That's the thing, I don't know. I know there's a Jimin, and there's a... Oh god, there's other ones that I know. I know like 3 of the names.
I think there's 5 of them, and I'm gonna tell you all their names right now. You said Jimin, that's 1. Horse?
Oh my god, I thought you were like, you actually knew them and were gonna rattle them off.
Big Mac.
There's definitely more than 5. Because I just Googled it and there's like a bunch. There's 7.
Krellman.
Krellman?
That's 3. I've gotten 3 of their names so far. Wednesday. V.
There is a V.
I know. I'm looking at you can't. Shh.
I'm looking at the answers.
My secrets.
Well, you're saying a bunch of joke ones. And I was like, wow, did he just somehow manage to guess the letter V as a name? That's
2,
crazy.
And Sega.
Oh yeah, Sugar. I didn't see. Sugar. I don't know. I've seen that name. I didn't know it was BPS. I didn't know it was BTS. I knew Jimin and Jungkook are the 2 that I know.
Yeah, those are the 2 I know.
They're probably like the ones. Oh, it's main vocals and lead vocals is what they're listed under.
What's the difference?
I know. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then there's a lead rapper, so there's like 3 like main people. Yeah. Yeah, man.
All right. Well, I don't know about you, but I think that's enough BTS talk. I think we've really run that well dry.
Yeah. Just don't say anything bad about them because the K-pop stands will come for us.
BTS, more like PTS. You could cancel me at @mothmancha at twitter.com.
Actually, maybe we should say bad stuff about BTS because then the army will like gang up on us and that'll be like really good like awareness that our podcast exists.
Exactly. No, it's good. It's clout. Any news is good news, right?
Yeah, true,
Right?
true.
BTS, more like BTF, because you just failed all your classes.
Excellent.
K-pop, more like L-pop. Yeah, boy.
Real bold with that one.
I'm really hitting some hard notes here.
Mhm.
So the BTS stands are going to come kill us now.
Mhm.
So let's use that as an excuse to talk about our next segment, which is
Ghosts and paranormal stuff. Because we were like, oh wait, we already have Halloween segments planned, but we had this other idea, and we are like, well, we can have like 2 Halloweeny episodes.
we're allowed to have 2 Halloween episodes. We like Halloween.
I've been dressing up Halloween for like 2 months.
We're adults. We can do whatever the hell we want.
For sure.
This is a fun one. I'm really excited for this one because since we're talking paranormal stuff, I can also talk cryptids, which are my boys, my favorite little boys,
yes.
my favorite friends, the cryptids.
That's for you.
So I guess here's the starter question, Erin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Erin, do you believe in ghosts?
I believe that there is something happening, and that the people who are seeing ghosts are seeing something, but I don't know if it's dead people or if it's like something else.
Okay.
But I feel like enough of the stories are tied to like someone died near this thing and then now everything's weird here. Like I'm like, all right, it's like reasonable to make the connection that it's probably a dead person, but I for sure think there's something paranormal or like weird happening. I don't think people are like making it up or like seeing things, or at least not like everybody.
At least I think one thing has to be right.
Yeah.
I'm in a weird place because I'm both like a really big skeptic and I'm also at the same time I'm a really big believer. I'm both Mulder and Scully from X-Files at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly fighting with myself about that because it's just like, I mean, all these people can't be wrong.
Yeah.
There gotta be ghosts. But also like I haven't experienced any ghost adventures personally.
Tyler's not seen any, and he super hardcore believes, like, is like super like there's 100% something.
If I have to like put down an official audience, I am more in the camp of believes than does not believe.
Yeah,
because it's more fun.
Yeah,
The thing that I super believe in 100% is demons. That
Oh,
one
yeah?
that one I'm hard on the train for as a mildly religious person.
That's funny. I would go ghosts and aliens, I think, before I do demons. That's interesting.
Oh, I'm also 100% on aliens. It's got to happen. Just like
Yeah,
I feel like it just has to happen.
yeah.
So I'm like super on the board with like demons and aliens and ghosts probably.
Mm-hmm. Do you have like a demon story that you heard where you were like, that sounds real? Because I feel like I've never heard like a specific demon thing.
Well, it's more so the idea that like maybe not all ghost stuff is ghosts, but it's also like possession stuff. The biggest thing that kind of gets me is the fact that the Catholic Church has like actual real exorcists.
Yes,
that is an actual job. That
I've watched
that
like
some
exorcism
priests are.
videos.
And like the head exorcist is like, hey, you know the movie The Exorcism? Pretty realistic. Like I love that movie, which is like that's a true story.
Yeah.
That like helps bolster it, at least for me. I know that that's not gonna mean mean jack shit to some people, but like for me, the fact that there are like religious leaders that are like pretty heavy on like this is like a thing we take very seriously.
I'm not religious, but I could see that making me like believe it more just because it's like you wouldn't think that they would care that much about it, and if they do, like probably something weird happened.
If they're literally like saying this is your job, this is your title, that's got to mean something. I feel like,
Yeah.
in this institution that's been around for forever. Um, so I don't know. My favorite like haunted house story is, it's a town. There's a town called Atchison in Kansas.
Mm,
And I've been there, but not for spooky reasons, but because a friend of our family's lives there.
okay.
But they have a couple like really really spooky haunted houses there, that I realized I was just like close to, like notably like the Sally house, which is one.
What is that?
It's there are a couple like you can watch like they have what's it, BuzzFeed Unsolved. Have you ever watched BuzzFeed Unsolved?
Oh no, but I know what you're talking about. I might have watched some.
There's
Before.
like an episode where they go, I think it's there, they go to a house in Atchison for sure, where you know it for the Sally house, it's like there's supposedly a ghost in that house who of like a girl who died. There are some pretty, I don't know, there's pretty creepy stuff, and I feel like there's an amount there that's interesting.
So Danny Gonzalez recently did a video on the Stanley Hotel, which is like the one that Stephen King based like The Shining off of. And it
Oh.
was very it was a very interesting video because he wasn't 100% like it's not real. Like there was stuff that was like creepy that happened, but a lot of the like stories and stuff that are famous about it, he was like, this is what the actual story was, and the thing that people tell you is like not even close. So like the Stephen King thing, he didn't see any ghosts there. He just had like a nightmare when he was there, and then the nightmare inspired The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is a woman that they said like burned down the hotel, and it was like a housekeeper, and they're like, oh, she died in the fire, and she like haunts the hallways of the hotel. She was in the fire, and the fire was real, but she died like 30 years later. Like it was not related to that. And I thought that was interesting in the video because I was like, oh, that's probably like one of the main things they talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But there was like stuff where people were like, yeah, I've seen things and like this stuff has happened. So it was kind of cool. It was like some of this stuff is exaggerated, but some of it is like real and creepy.
Yeah, it's a weird and difficult topic because you think that like with modern technology we'd have better evidence.
Yeah, they have those like ghost hunting tools and stuff, but it's always like it'll get some like staticky talking where you're not really sure if it's like noises or like someone actually talking and stuff. And then like they have the thing with like the heat sensor stuff, and like sometimes it's like, oh, that's weird. Why is that thing lighting up? But like I don't know.
Is it weird if I believe in ghosts but not in ghost hunting tools?
No, I think that's probably a lot of people believe that.
Because I'm firmly in that camp where, okay, I feel like a lot of ghost hunters are pretty bogus.
Yeah. No, for sure. And that was like why he had the video, because it was like, oh, there's a lot of like really like exaggerated videos about this place. I want to see what it's like actually like. And it was like, okay, it's creepy about these people making these like videos where they're like screaming the whole time. It's like not that bad.
I just want to go like see, like I want to go to one of these like supposedly actually haunted places and like spend the night and see if like I have reason to actually be scared.
That's like literally like watch that video because it's basically what he did. Tyler, I've like asked him before if he want to do stuff like that, and I think sometimes he's like, I don't want to mess with it because I do believe in it, but like I don't know if I would. I think I'd be freaked out. But also I think if I was like with other people, I could probably do it, but I would not like be alone in a hotel room there.
Oh yeah, I just think it'd be a lot of fun to do with people.
Yeah.
And I just want like one seedling to like confirm like that I'm on the right path. And if I have like a mildly freaky night at a place like that, that'll do it.
Yeah, for sure. My dad very firmly believes that he saw a ghost in college. He said he like woke up in the middle of the night and there was like an old like woman standing in the room, and he like got up and like ran downstairs and like told his friends, and then like when he came back up there's like nothing there. And my mom's like, I don't know that happened, but my dad's like, no, for sure it happened. So like, I don't know. But they owned a house where like weird stuff would happen too. Like there was like a mirror where like when you'd walk by, you'd see like weird stuff. Like for a second, you'd be like, what was that? And then like one time my mom was like painting or something. She was on a ladder and something like pushed her a little bit and there was like nothing there. So like they both have had like stuff happen. I haven't, but like, yeah. At least I think that's the story she told me. I think it was her.
My dad, if I remember the story correctly, I think my dad is convinced that he had an encounter with like an angel.
Oh, that's cool.
Like as a like some guy he helped give a ride, some hitchhiker he helped give a ride to. Like at the end of the ride, he like had like a weird moment where like he wasn't able to look at this guy directly. If I remember correctly, it's been a
Huh.
long time since I've heard the story. But if I remember correctly, he had like trouble looking at the guy afterwards, and then he like disappeared or whatever. Not like
That's
not
weird.
like in front of his eyes, but like you look back and the guy's gone or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
if I remember correctly, because it's been a long time since I've heard that story, I'm pretty sure he's pretty positive he's like encountered an angel, which is really cool.
There's like a ghost like that in like Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I think. Where like a similar thing happens where they like it's like a hitchhiker.
Yeah,
I
but
think that's
it wasn't like spooky. It was just like a guy who needed a ride, and my
yeah,
dad.
yeah, like a scary version of that is what I mean. But yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. That's interesting. So if you remember when you visited and we went to Tyler's show,
Yes.
where he opened for Ryan Singer, yeah, he has a paranormal podcast. I think it's called Me and Paranormal You. And he has a bunch of stories, and like one of them is like he interviewed some girl that he like dated, and like while they were being intimate, she like shape shifted and had like a different face or something. That's like what they're claiming happened. But like a bunch of other people have been on like telling other stories, but that was one where I was like, I hope not. Like that's terrifying.
I've been rewatching the X-Files lately. I'm
Mhm.
gonna force myself to actually finish it this time because I never got around to finishing it. But man, it really gets me in the mood to do this stuff.
Oh,
Uh,
while we're talking about like good paranormal content, Tyler watches this thing. It's called Slapped Ham. Oh my god, it's horrible. The guy who does it seems very nice, and this is nothing against him. His name's like Callan, and I think he's like, I don't know if he's like New Zealand or something. He's got like a weird accent, and every video will be like, look at this ghost over here, and then like you'll see like a paper bag blowing in the wind, and he'll be like, skeptics will say this is a paper bag, but what do you think? And it's like every time it's so clearly like not a ghost.
I
Um,
need to check that out. I would love that.
well, it's not like a parody. Like he's like serious, and there's like like okay, so I would say about 10% of the
Either
videos on the
way,
channel look like freaky, and then like 90% of them are like blatantly fake or like edited. In some cases, it's like a YouTuber that's very clearly making like a fake edited video. And like I think it's just the guy needs to make a lot of content, so he just takes any ghost video he can and like puts it into video, and only like some of them look legit, and so many of them are like the second you see it, you're like, no, that's like a
I'm
squirrel.
I mean that's every like horror YouTuber that does does like video content like Chills. Like Chills
Yeah,
has videos like those. Um Number 15.
it's
Haunted
very
Burger
like that.
King foot lettuce. Um okay. I want to jump over to cryptids really quick
Yeah,
cuz this is my topic of most favoritist. Everyone and their mother knows my favorite cryptid, who is the Mothman. Do you have any creatures that you like, Erin?
creatures.
Any cryptid creatures?
What are the cryptid creatures? I
Like
gotta.
Nessie and Bigfoot and I could just name a ton.
I like the idea of Nessie, but I would be absolutely terrified of that because it's kind of dinosaur-like, and I'm
I
really
mean they're all
afraid of stuff like
scary.
that. Yeah, but like, okay, like a jackalope, I'm like a little less afraid of than like a giant, like
Okay,
giant dinosaur
jackalopes
thing.
aren't scary, but most of them are scary, right?
I would say, what is this? I'm looking at somebody's like kawaii mythical encrypted creature stickers on Etsy to find
Yeah.
cryptids.
Um a big thing that I've been doing with so like in my spare time, like one of the things I'm working on as a side project is like a fake Pokemon region, and I'm basing a bunch of them off of American cryptids because
Oh,
that's like
that's
the theme
cool.
I'm building around, which is a lot of fun. So like I've learned about a lot of them. Uh, Not a favorite one, but my favorite name for a cryptid is the Snallygaster,
Oh, that's a funny name.
which is like an actual, which is like one from somewhere in New England.
Mm.
A friend of mine from college had told me about it the first time. It's like a bird reptile monster from Maryland.
Okay.
So like there's the Snallygaster, like the Jersey Devil's cool. If
Oh
I had
yeah.
if I had to give you a top three, I like the I like the ones that have like the weird glowing eyes. So I like obviously the Mothman. I like the Flatwoods Monster, which is also from West Virginia, which is like supposedly an alien that showed up in a swamp. And I like the Fresno Nightcrawlers because they're just like little guys.
That sounds like a sports team name.
It does. They're just little guys. I On
I
my
think.
iPad right here, I have you can see. I'll try to hold it up. So I have a Flatwood sticker,
Oh, cute.
and then I have a little Mothman with a little Fresno Nightcrawler,
That's cool.
also on the back of my iPad.
I think Tyler likes Bigfoot, which is funny
He
because he
would like
looks like
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Yeah.
My family really likes Yetis.
Oh yeah, that's cool. They have in the roller coaster. No, in Zoo Tycoon. You could have Yetis and Bigfoots and mermaids. And the
What?
mermaids were like a secret thing. There was like a mermaid statue item, and if you placed it inside of a tank, it would like break open and turn to a mermaid. I thought that was the coolest thing.
Oh, that's so cool. I love
Yeah.
mermaids.
I
I
know you
love
love
mermaids.
mermaids.
Wow. Local man who has mermaid D&D character likes mermaids. Who'da thunk it?
Yeah. Cryptids I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a whole lot about them. I like vampire stuff and like mermaids are cool, but like I
Vampires
don't
are great.
know. Yeah. Can't think much beyond that.
Here are some fun cryptids that you might not know exist. Okay, I've got a couple that I want to bring up. One is called the Slide Rock Bolter.
What's that?
It's so it's one of the there's like a group of cryptids that are called like fearsome critters, which are essentially like from lumberjack stories like way back when
Okay.
lumberjacking was like a huge thing. So like Paul Bunyan type stories. So the Slide Rock Bolter is like a giant not sure like what exactly it is, like a giant like a landfish or a giant like snake or something that basically slides down mountains. It's just like huge, and it lives on like really steep mountains and just will like slide down them and watch for prey and just like gobble it up. That's a fun one. I really like I'm gonna struggle to pronounce it.
Oh, it's fine.
It's like the Mokale Mbembe.
Okay.
Mokale Bembe.
I know you like Mbembe and Mancha, I know.
It's the Mokale Mbimbam. There's 3 of them. No, it's like it's just like a dinosaur. It's just like a little sauropod dinosaur that supposedly exists, and it's like a spirit from like the Congo River. But there's like if you go to the Wikipedia page on it, they have like a really cute drawing of like a little tiny dinosaur. So they're supposed to be like, like little tiny sauropods.
Cute.
And I'm a big fan of those. I'm gonna try to get one as a pet in my D&D game.
Oh, that'd be cute.
So yeah, those are 2 really cool ones that that are lesser known that I wanted to bring up.
That's cool.
I don't want to dominate the segment with cryptids.
There was something that I looked up when I was on that page. It was like the Wampus cat. That was like one. What is that?
Wampus cat.
It's a very funny name.
I don't know a ton about it. I know it's like a 6-legged cat.
Oh, it is 6-legged. I didn't even see that. I'm looking at these pictures being like, it just looks like a normal big cat. I can't believe I didn't notice that.
It's just, I think it's just like a funny little cat that might be, it's similar to like some stuff from like Cherokee mythology and stuff. It's
Yeah.
just like a swimming, it can swim. I think it might be, oh, that's right. It's related to like underwater panthers,
Oh, that's cool.
which is a
Never heard of that.
that's not a cryptid as much as it is like a
It sounds like
like
a
an
band name.
indigenous like animal.
Oh, cool.
Like kind of like a Wendigo or something, which is
Oh, yeah.
something more based in like Native American folklore and stuff. Which is just like a panther that can swim.
That's cool.
Which is really, really cool. I forgot that was a creature. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun ones. I could do this forever, and I don't want to do just cryptids in this segment.
You can have your own surprise cryptid segment one day.
I will someday. Don't you worry.
Oh, I'm sure.
Do you have anything else paranormal, ghost related?
On ghosts, no. Okay, when I was in college, I had this class that was like creative like game writing or something where we had to make like visual novels. And I really wanted to take this class, but I was like, I'm not like great at this. I'm just kind of doing it for fun. And one of the stories I wrote was like a girl who like falls in love with a ghost, and he like makes up this like elaborate story of like how he died, and like she tries to help him get like revenge on somebody, but then it was like he actually just died because he was lighting off fireworks and like accidentally like killed himself in the process. And I just remember that was like one thing I wrote in college that was like a dumb story.
That's great. That
Yep.
reminded me of a game that I have had like on my wish list but haven't picked up. What's it called? It's a visual novel. I'm not a huge visual novel guy, but what's it called? It's called Sucker for Love.
Oh, never heard of it. What is that?
Sucker for Love is a visual novel where you can date Lovecraft monsters.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
I like that.
there's a Cthulhu girl, there's a Nyarlathotep girl, and there's a
Okay.
Hastur girl, and I'm a big fan of Hastur as like a Lovecraft monster. So like I need to get that one and date these terrifying women.
We love this for you. Have you played or watched people play the Mortuary Assistant?
I've not.
I just watched like Jacksepticeye's play through that the other day. Because I was interested in it, but it was like a horror game, and I can't play horror games. I can kind of watch someone else play it depending on how scary it is. It's cool. It's like you have to like do all the stuff morticians do with like bodies. Like you gotta like wire people's jaws and like do stuff with like their eyes and stuff. It's creepy. You're like doing stuff on dead bodies, but then like paranormal stuff starts happening and like they start moving and like doing weird shit. So it was scary, but like a manageable amount for me to watch.
Mm-hmm. This also reminds me. Are you still following like the Monster Prom series of games?
I follow them. I haven't bought the last one, and then I saw there's another one coming out. Yeah.
I still need to finish playing through Prom and
too.
then getting the other ones. But they just announced, and I'm super excited for the new one for Monster Road Trip.
Mm-hmm.
A playable character who's like a little moth, and their name is Hazel, and they're very cute. And I now like have to get this game because you can play as a moth character.
Well, I know a bunch of people who have muttered about doing a group of Monster Prom cosplay. So if there's anybody that catches your fancy, let me know because we might be doing that.
I'll have to think about that. I
want to be
probably honestly. See, I like all the female characters a lot, but I don't want to do. Yeah. I don't want to do a bend. I would do Scott probably because then I don't have to shave.
Yeah, that works.
Right, that's easy. I don't want to shave my beard. So Scott would be the easy choice.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I think with that, we are looking like we want to swap over to our next topic, I think.
Oh, I'm excited for this one.
So this one's going to be interesting. We will be right back with it.
So we're back, and I made coffee because I ate a lot of cheese and had a glass of wine and was really sleepy. But I was like, oh, I know what mug I will make coffee in. So last time I showed my pumpkin mug. This one is my little ghost mug. He's very cute. They're both from Walgreens. Anyway, continue on, Mancha.
So, this one was my idea.
Mhm.
Aaron, what's your Myers-Briggs personality type?
I'm ENFJ. Yeah, ENFJ.
You're
What?
ENFJ, and
Oh, breakdown. We should break down what all the things mean if we know that.
uh, I'll pull up ENFJ quick. Um,
I just mean because like
ENFJ,
those letters are all like a
yeah,
thing.
it's extroverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging.
Yeah.
And on 16 personalities, it's the protagonist.
Ooh. Okay, so it's extroversion or introversion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The way
Uh,
sensing or intuition, thinking or feeling. Yeah, judging or perceiving. Oh, I didn't know I'm judging. Well, I knew that, but
well, we all knew that.
we know.
And I am an INTP, which is the logician. So I'm introverted, intuitive thinking, and prospecting.
So we only
Um,
have in common the N.
yeah. So we just wanted to like see what would happen if we took a personality test and aggregated our results together, what we would get.
So this is like the
Uh,
morphing of me, and if we like gem fused,
this is the yeah. This is our
is
like
our
gem
fusion.
fusion. This is the Unlimited Appetizers personality test.
Yes.
So how we want to do this is, I figure, we can each say what we would do, and if we disagree, we pick the middle point between those.
Okay. So the first one is you regularly make new friends. I'd say closer to the side of agree, maybe like one less, just because making friends as an adult is like really hard. But like, I am one of the most social people of like the people I regularly interact with. I meet a lot of people, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't meet a lot of people. I'm good at making new friends when
yeah,
I have the capability to. So
for
I'm gonna
sure.
say that that's around here,
Okay,
because we're definitely on that side. You spend a lot of free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest.
yeah,
I think this is a solid,
we're
very much both of
it's like
us.
we're very on the
That's what this
internet.
podcast is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's just us being like, oh, that thing was kind of fun. How can I make that into like a 15-minute thing?
Yeah. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too.
This is weird because sometimes it does, and sometimes other people crying makes me like not want to cry because I want to like be helpful or if I'm like uncomfortable. I don't know. What would you put for this?
Super does not make me want to cry.
All right, let's put like disagree. Yeah,
You often make a backup plan for a backup plan.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
do. That's anxiety, baby.
yeah. I was gonna say I feel like we're both kind of like over prepared.
You usually stay calm under a lot of pressure.
So this is a weird thing because I have such bad anxiety. I feel like really, really crazy situations, I think I am calm and am able to be like helpful, but like minor stressful situations are like up here for me. And I think my anxiety just kind of evens them all out at the same level. So like I'm not very calm in most conflicts, but like when like shit really goes down, I am. So I'd say closer to the end of disagree.
I don't feel calm and stuff like that, but I can be calm.
That's
There,
fair.
like I can force myself to be calm to get the problem solved.
All right.
So I
So,
feel like it's a solid center.
yeah.
You rarely try to introduce yourself to new people at social events and mostly talk to the people you already know.
So wrong.
Uh,
Disagree. For me.
it's an agree for me. So this is a set. That's a
All right,
center,
we'll put
baby.
it. Yeah, whenever I'm at a party, if there's new people, I'm like so excited, and like I will talk to people I know and stuff, but I will go out of my way to like meet everybody.
Uh, I don't go out of my way to do it. I
Mhm.
will talk to people I know. If someone talks to me, I will talk to them. Like at your party where we met like some of your friends in Raleigh,
Mhm.
I talked like a lot with some of the new people.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's a little more towards that direction.
I
Because I do, but I don't like seek it out. It's more so I do what I'm gonna do, and I will talk to the people I know, and I will happily interact with someone who wants to talk to me. I just don't like initiating conversations.
There's been like 2 or new people at work that I like very quickly was like, we should be friends. Let's hang out and like set a thing up. And like, everybody's very friendly, but like there was a jump between
Mhm.
like friendly and like, let's do something. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know the answer to this one, so I'm just gonna like move on.
You prefer to completely finish one
we-
project before starting another. We're both so disagree.
we both have so many projects just floating.
My new strategy, so how we're like journal fiends. I got this little one and I didn't know what to do with it. And my idea with this little one is if there's a project that I want to do, I'll write it in here, but I won't let myself write another one until that one's done. So that's my new strategy. So I'm
Good
gonna have to think
luck.
really hard about stuff that I actually want to do. Because anything I'm on the fence about, I'm not putting in here.
Okay. Are you sentimental?
Yes.
How very? Like very?
I get like really emotional and like cry over like remembering like fun things and stuff all the time.
I get the more drunk I get, the more sentimental I get. So I think
you
that's
for
there.
sure. Yeah, I also like will cry
I'll
about like losing or breaking like items I own and stuff because I
Mhm.
get like weird about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I get too. So I think I'm more.
This one. You like to use organizing
talked
tools
about
like
that.
schedules and lists. Yes, we both do that.
Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge.
It depends on what it is. I would say yes, but it depends.
Not a strong yes, but like
Yeah.
I think around there for both of us, I would be good because I agree.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation.
Tell me
No.
Tyler started dating.
Solid middle.
I approached him on an escalator at a convention.
I could never.
I did that with like a lot of people when I was trying to date, and I probably made a fool of myself, but I was like, I don't know how else to meet people.
There's no good way to meet people ever.
Yeah.
You are not too interested in discussing various interpretations and analyses of creative works.
I would disagree, but I'm not like all the way on disagree. Sometimes I get annoyed if I'm at a social event and everybody just wants to break down like one piece of media for like 2 hours, but I will like do it to some degree.
Yeah. I think right there, because I do like doing that, probably more than you.
Probably a little more than me. Also, I think just sometimes it depends who I'm having the conversation with.
Yeah. You follow your head more than your heart.
I feel like I follow my heart and I make my head rationalize what needs to be done for that. I don't.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
I use my head to force myself to follow my heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what is that? The middle, I guess?
I put that in the middle, yeah.
You usually prefer doing what you feel like at any given moment instead of planning a particular daily routine.
I don't know how to answer this because I try to make myself do routines and then I like mess them up and I'm very like impulsive, so
yeah, I love
maybe
having
agree.
A routine. I feel like it's like a soft agree.
Yeah, there's probably good.
You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet.
The farthest disagree that I can pick.
That's
I'm
easy.
Constantly worried about people not liking me.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry. We both like group activities a lot, I think.
Oh, hell yeah. For sure.
That one's easy. Do you like books and movies that make you come up with your own interpretation of the ending?
Generally, no. Because I hate when everybody else thinks one thing and I think a different thing and we disagree. I'd kind of rather it be like concrete. Maybe like interpreting morals, but not like plot.
I sort of like it, sort of don't. It kind of depends on what it is. I think that's a middle.
Okay. Yeah.
Middle ground. Your happiness comes more from helping others accomplish things than your own accomplishments.
No. I feel like not in a mean way. I think a lot of my happiness is based around like what I'm doing personally.
Yeah, I agree. So,
yeah.
No worries. You're interested in so many things that you find it difficult to choose what to try next.
I'm constantly fluctuating between I don't care about anything and I care about everything, so I'd say agree.
I feel like this is also we are prone to worrying about things that'll take a turn for the worse.
Yes. We worry a lot. You avoid leadership roles, disagree.
We both did e-board
together, yeah. You're definitely not an artistic type of person. We're both very artistic, I would say.
So very disagree in different ways.
Yeah.
Do you think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings? I do.
Yeah, like I think like there's feelings that are good to follow and then there's feelings that are not good to follow, and those are the ones I'm annoyed by people like getting outraged over things that it's like, all right, chill.
Yeah. Do you like doing your chores before allowing yourself to relax?
I like to. I don't do chores very often.
I feel like this is a soft agree because I do prefer that, but I don't usually
Yeah.
do that.
I prefer it if I can do it. It's usually just a matter of I can't.
Do you like watching people argue?
So in real life, no, but I had a Among Us phase. That's all that is just watching people argue for hours. So I would say yes because of that.
Same with rap battles.
Oh yeah, okay. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself. Big
Well,
disagree.
okay. That's a big disagree for you. A little bit less for me, so I'm lessening
Yeah.
it a bit. Okay, do you have mood fluctuations very quickly?
Yeah, if I have like a minor negative social interaction, I will immediately shift into like, oh my god, everybody hates me. Like,
Yeah, I think that's a solid like, not super strong, not most strong for me, but I agree.
yeah.
Do you lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you?
Tyler, if Tyler was here, he would go, "You talk too goddamn fast and you don't like let me catch up."
I cannot go to the store with my little sister because she's too slow for me, and I will get upset, like to the
Yeah.
grocery store. Do you often end up doing things at the last possible moment?
Yes,
Well,
this podcast.
what do we talk
every
about
week.
every intro? Are
I'm
you
determined next week I'll be real good next week because we have to be in
We have to be on our
costumes.
A game
Mhm.
next time. Have you been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death? This is a
I
big
say
yes for
compared
me.
to most people, no for me.
So center, I think.
Yeah.
That's something that I agonize over a lot because both eternity and non-existence terrify me equally.
It terrifies me, but I'm very in the like non-existence camp, and I'm also kind of the mindset of like if it's something else, I have no way to know, so I should just proceed like with like the one thing I think it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know you prefer to be around others.
Yeah.
I
like some alone time.
Yeah. I like some alone time too. I'm gonna put it there, I think.
In my home, I need alone time. I like going out and doing stuff, but I need like alone time. Like sometimes me and Tyler drive each other insane and need to like separate.
Yeah. I like being around people online a lot.
Yeah.
Do you become bored when discussions become theoretical?
No. I don't know what that would mean.
I don't know. I'm just gonna put disagree and move on.
I think no, yeah.
Do you feel easy to empathize with someone with very different experiences than yours?
Yes. I'm not gonna be one of those people that's like, oh, I'm an empath, but like I feel like I generally in a situation I can get like what the other person is feeling and be like, okay, like I'm gonna
most of the time, even if I totally don't get it, I can kind of force myself to like peek into that. So I feel like that's a decent one. I don't think we postpone finalizing decisions though. As much
I
as
feel
we
like we are last minute on stuff, but decision immediately, people.
Yeah.
You rarely second guess the choices you have made. Yeah, no, disagree.
I know us. After a long, exhausting week, a lively social event is just what you need.
Agree.
This is a solid middle of the road because I disagree. I need to do nothing for a day, and then I can have my social event.
I do enjoy doing nothing, but like a Friday night, like getting together and complaining is like my favorite.
Do you like going to art museums?
I'd say middle. I'll go to them, but it's like
I like them conceptually, so we'll give it a little agree, tiny little bit. Do you have? We just kind of answered this one. We don't really have a hard time understanding other people's feelings.
Yeah.
I know we both like having to-do lists for each day.
List.
I need to get better at it. I've been thinking about wanting to do more.
You rarely feel insecure. This is like middle of disagree for me. I agree
with that.
You avoid making phone calls, yeah.
Yeah, we hate those. I had to make
Uh-huh.
one right before the podcast, and I hated every moment
I
of it.
I have to make one that I've been putting off for like 2 weeks about
Ooh.
like a doctor thing, and I'm like, I just need to do this, but I hate this office so much, and I hate calling them.
That's why I haven't been to a practitioner in a while, because I have to call people to do that, and can't make me do that.
This is the situation I'm in with this doctor. I need them for medication, right? And I have to see them periodically or they won't like refill it. They had scheduled me an appointment. Day of, I call them because I didn't get a reminder or anything. And they're like, you don't have an appointment. You don't have one. And I'm like, okay, well, I need one. So can you like schedule me one? And they're like, we'll leave a message. I called 2 other times, explained the whole scenario from the top. And both times the people were like, yeah, I'll tell them. We'll leave a message. And then nothing ever happens. And I need to be like, all right, seriously? Like, someone needs to give me an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Do you spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are different from your own?
I
don't
think,
really.
yeah. For me, like, mid
I
on
feel like
agree.
I'm a mid on disagree. Just like, they got their own stuff. I don't have an issue. I'm just gonna let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are both the ones who contact friends and initiate activities.
For sure.
Because you love that. I do it out of
love
necessity. Because if I want to see my friends, I have to set that up usually.
Yeah.
If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Let's say interrupted by not like yourself, by something else.
I don't know. I feel like I just weigh which thing feels the most important in the scenario. Like, if a bad thing comes up, like, I'm going to drop what I'm doing to deal with that. Like, I don't know.
Feels like a middle of the road answer. You were bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Do you rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life?
So when I said the thing earlier about not thinking about life after death, this I think about all the time. I'm constantly like, what am I doing to make my life meaningful before I die? Like,
agreed. Big
Yeah.
agree. Do your emotions control you more than you control them?
Well, I have an anxiety disorder, so probably.
I think that's a soft agree for both of us. Because I probably have an anxiety disorder that I need to diagnose. You take great care to not make people look bad even when it's completely their fault.
Oh, I don't know how to explain this, because if I'm mad at somebody, I will be very kind and agreeable to them, but I might vent to people and be like, can you believe this? But I just need to like get it out, and then I'm like, fine. You know what I mean? So I don't think I try to make, I don't know. I don't try to make people look bad, but like, I could be like middle for that.
Yeah, I think middle's weird because I don't really know how to answer this one.
Yeah.
I don't try to make people look bad, but if they deserve it, I don't necessarily stop it.
I think once I've gotten the thing that I want out of it, I'm just very nice and like not drawing attention to that there was like a problem like once it's like solved, but yeah.
Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized, consistent efforts.
Yes.
Yeah, big agree.
Is this a Myers-Briggs test or like an ADHD test, man? What's going on?
What's the difference?
I know.
When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it'll take them to feel disappointed in you.
No, I don't think so. No,
I don't
think
that's
that.
not something I worry about.
No,
up top.
If I can sense someone doesn't like me, I'll be worried about it. But if somebody likes me, I'm not worried at all.
You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. I would love that.
That is kind of my job. Like we're on a team, but like it's mostly solitary work and you like check in on people. So I would say yes. Agree.
You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time.
No. I think it's important to figure out like your own morals on stuff and like what you think.
How strong are you on that? I'm a big disagree. I think it's very important.
Yeah, I'd be a big disagree too.
You like busy, bustling atmospheres more than quiet, intimate places.
I like both, but I think I'm like a bustling atmosphere person more than the average person. Like, I like being in crowds.
I love quiet, intimate, like liminal spaces. So we are a middle.
Yeah, I can appreciate those too, but I am like a concert person.
I prefer a quiet place than a loud one.
Yeah.
You know at first glance how someone is feeling.
I think, yeah, agree.
I think this is the last one.
You often feel overwhelmed, yeah.
Okay, we know that one. You complete things methodically and don't skip over any steps. Sometimes I sometimes will like bounce around and like do steps in a weird order that benefits my ADHD undiagnosed, probably, who knows.
I feel like a lot of the things that I have to do and like problems I have to solve in my life don't necessarily have like written out steps. Like, so I think when there's steps to follow, I follow them to a T, but like in generally that's not like how things are working.
Yeah. We love things that are controversial. We are
You're
very
intrigued by things
them.
labeled as yeah, that's why
YouTube
if any
drama.
like Twitter controversy happens, even if I've never heard of the person, I will read and consume all of it. I will not say anything about it publicly, but I will read all of it.
Yeah, you and I love doing that.
Oh yeah, it's so fun.
Would you pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more?
No. Why would you do that? Well, what's the good opportunity?
I don't know, like a job or
no
something. I think it's like I'm like I could maybe see myself doing it.
If it's something I really don't need and someone else is like dying for it, yeah, like if it's like a minor inconsequential thing, but I wouldn't like give up like an important like life advancement for someone else.
Yeah. Do you struggle with deadlines?
I will always meet deadlines. I won't be late on them, but I often end up doing stuff like last minute.
Yeah, but you don't struggle with the deadlines. You just know how to budget your time in a way that's not smart. You feel confident that things will work out for you.
So I actually am pretty close to agree on that. I've had a lot of things in my life just kind of go right that like shouldn't have, and I feel very lucky. And I think I generally have that attitude, but you know,
I'm more optimistic than pessimistic.
Yeah.
We are other.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, so I took over on this. Well, I guess we both have the N.
Yeah, yours is. There's a little bit of both, right? This is about what expected. So together, I think as a unit, we are more extroverted.
Mm-hmm.
We also both were intuitive, so I would be very surprised if that had like switched over.
Yeah.
My thinking took over, but your judging took over.
I'm so judgmental.
You are.
I love that the combined person of us is this little like director guy holding a camera or whatever, like giving people orders. It's cute.
Steve Jobs. Who the hell is that?
Together we are Steve Jobs.
Who the
That's
hell is
insane.
Steve Jobs? Gordon Ramsay.
Oh no.
Jim Carrey.
Oh, Jim Carrey's cool.
Harrison Ford.
Oh man.
Doctor Strange.
Tony Soprano. Tyler loves The Sopranos.
Characters I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't. River Tam was in one of the chess shows.
Yeah, that's all I know about River Tam. That's it. All right. We're gonna go ahead and get together our last segment, and we'll be right back.
Wait, want to read like a line from it or something? Yeah. Commanders are natural-born leaders. People with this personality type embody the gifts of charisma and confidence and project authority in a way that draws crowds together behind a common goal. However, commanders are also characterized by an often ruthless level of rationality, using their drive, determination, and sharp minds to achieve whatever end they've set for themselves. Perhaps it is best that they make up only 3% of the population, lest they overwhelm the more timid and sensitive personality types that make up much of the rest of the world. We have commanders to thank for many of the businesses and institutions we take for granted every day, like Unlimited Appetizers.
God bless.
You were reading that and you like minimized it for a second, and the way that it comes through on the stream is really blurry, and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to read that, and then you put it back and I was like, okay, thank God.
I was just making sure it was still recording.
Yeah.
So for this next segment, you can leave the Discord because all you need to do is join that link I sent you. But I'm going to keep recording. But before we do anything, I need your help, Erin,
Mm-hmm.
generating a list of topics. So really quick, can you give me just 5 animals?
5 animals. Flamingo. Um, how specific? Or am I allowed to like pick
5,
weird one?
yeah, anything goes.
Okay.
5 animals right now.
Flamingo, capybara,
Capybara.
caracal, obviously a floppa. So yeah, flamingo, capybara, caracal, an eel, and a snail.
Snail. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is randomly generate a bunch of nouns.
Okay.
Um, which are, I want nouns only. History, king, diamond, hat. None of those nouns are good. I'm regenerating more. Um, wow, a lot of these are bad. I'm going to a new word generator. Island. Okay, so we have 5 animals and 5 nouns. So if are you in the drawing canvas that I have up?
Yeah, I'm like logging it. It's making me like login. Okay.
Okay, I see you moving around. So I have this open on my iPad and here on my computer. So here's the deal. We just generated a list of
Oh, I think I know this idea.
things. Yeah, we've talked vaguely about this idea.
Okay.
So here's what we're gonna do, just as a fun little idea that I've had, that I've wanted to do for a while. So I'm just gonna up here, right? Whoa. Okay, I should have messed with like a brush beforehand.
Oh, sorry.
Right. Flamingo, caracal, eel, and I'm realizing now that you can't see this on the big screen, so I'm just moving in it. It was snail, and it was capybara. Erin's drawing on the board too.
Sorry, I thought I hit back and then it didn't.
And then our noun list was that I generated was history, king.
Why is the board rotated?
I have
Oh,
no
I
clue.
did that.
That's you.
That's what I hit. Instead of the undo button, I hit the rotate canvas button.
Diamond, hat, and island. Okay, Erin.
How do I scroll up and down? Oh, I found it.
Just like alt size. Okay, there. Now this canvas fits in the screen. We are going to create 2 fake Pokemon. I'm gonna make one, and Erin's gonna make one.
Okay.
How I want to do this is I think we should pick an animal and a topic and fuse them together, and then see what we get at the end, right? And we can talk about it as we go through.
Okay.
But I need to. You have your own layer, so I can't mess with yours. So you just,
Are we telling each other what we're making, or are we just like doing it?
let's. I want to talk about it so we can kind of like plan ahead.
Okay.
But what I think that so I'll use the left, and you can use the right side.
Okay.
I want to do a snail.
I
know you're not an artiste, and I think that's gonna make this fun.
Wow. Saying I'm not an artiste. What if I just paint the Mona Lisa right now, huh? You can feel
Do it.
stupid.
Do it. Do it. You
I'm
coward.
not
Do
going
it. Do it.
I'll make something better. I would like island caracal and diamond flamingo. If I can.
Okay, well, you pick one that you would do.
Oh, okay. Island caracal.
Island
Are we giving each
caracal.
other the other one?
No. So you're gonna do island caracal. I'm gonna do, I think, king snail.
Sure.
So you have the whole right side of that board. But I want to talk about like I'm taking my hood off for this, I think. So I can focus more. So sorry if I'm looking down.
Oh, you're fine.
This is more so to the viewers, you know, because I'm gonna be fancy and use my iPad. But I thought this would be fun if we just, start just having a little catalog of silly little funny boys that we, don't put a bunch of time into, right? So I'm gonna do snail and king, right?
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm just gonna go for it, right?
Sure. All right. I'm gonna start drawing.
Right. And I'm gonna talk. Howard, do you think you're gonna like fuse your ideas together? I'm just kind of going for something, and then we'll adjust it as we go.
I have a specific use of this theme in mind. Oh wait, I started too big. Oh no, my mouse is like so. So this table doesn't have like a tablecloth on it, or it has a tablecloth, and I can't really
Mhm.
draw with it. Hold on, let me peel it back. I can't really. Please don't let this bump my mouse. Let me make sure my microphone is still fine. Okay. Okay. Oops.
Me trying to remember the difference between a snail and a slug, so I don't mess it up. We're good. I'm not accidentally drawing a slug. The snail is the one that has the shell, right?
Yes.
I know. I'm immediately thinking crown on the back for mine.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
What are you thinking?
I'm gonna make a floppa that looks like he's on vacation.
What Pokemon type do you think that your vacation flop is gonna be?
Probably like water and like I don't know. Water.
What is the Pokemon type for good times?
I know. Fairy, I don't know.
It could be whatever. I have no clue. I mean, bug, obviously.
I'm gonna see what he looks like when I make him, and then maybe I'll.
Right. I like the mouth
Thank
that
you.
you just gave him. You got to give him make sure you give him the flops, right?
Oh, I am. I was gonna do him in a different color, so I left it blank.
Yeah, let's go. What do kings look like? I don't know why I looked up kings. I should be looking up snails. Okay, I'll give him like a thing, like the neck thing. You know what I'm talking about, like the thing,
Totally.
like the collar. That's what I'm looking for, and that can look like his antennas because snails have weird antennas.
I'm not looking at yours at all on my screen right now, so if I end up doing something similar to what you're doing, don't mind me.
Well, I mean, I'm doing a snail, and you are doing a caracal.
So already they will be different.
And I'm doing king, and you are doing vacation or island. So, I think we're good on the front of not doing what someone else is doing. Okay, while we do this, so that there's a discussion topic, I want you to tell me immediately. Tell me about the lore. Tell me about the lore.
I feel like I might be a draw first, lore later person. I don't know that I can do two things at once.
No.
Yeah, I'd have to like think about it. I feel like I need to draw and then kind of go by what ends up happening in my drawing.
That's fair. I'm just gonna wing it. Because it doesn't have to be perfect. Because I did I did a sketch, right? So I'm gonna. No.
All right, I'm just gonna.
I actually really like this pixel brush, and I might use it. I like the polo. Is he going golfing?
It's gonna be a Hawaiian shirt.
Oh, it's good. Oh, hell yeah. Hawaii floppa.
These browns I'm putting on him are all gonna be kind of different slightly because I didn't bother to color pick them.
So like the snail antennae already look like the thing, like the crown things. Like the spikes on a crown.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm gonna give him like 2 gemstone eyes.
That's a good idea. I think I'm gonna start coloring this shirt.
Should my snail have a mouth, Erin?
Yeah.
You think so?
So he can yell snail obscenities.
So he could say snail slurs?
Oh, what would be like an offensive term for like a snail?
I don't know.
House back.
I don't want to continue down this line of discussion anymore.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I was like, all right, how could I like be offensive to snails?
Oh no, I copied a layer and okay, I have to start over. I messed up.
Good job.
I messed up bad. Okay. I was drawing over the sketch. You never draw over the sketch.
This is it's a pretty sick shirt if you ask me.
What kind are those coconut trees?
Yeah, they're palm trees. Put some fish
I'm
on
just
it.
so I'm thinking bug rock or bug steel for mine.
Definitely water, and then I'll think about the other one.
It doesn't have to be another one, too. It could just be one, or it could be. I think normal might just be good for yours because he's just like a guy going on vacation, you know.
He's just chilling.
He's Jay chillin'. Where's he going on vacation to, Erin?
He's going to meet up with his friend Penny Colada.
What a callback. Amen. God bless.
From the Unlimited Appetizers cinematic universe.
I can't believe Pokemon are real in the Unlimited Appetizers cinematic universe.
So true. They're real, but like it just doesn't affect anything. They don't do anything crazy like they do in the movies. They just like
they're just not a part of the story. They're just like, you know, one-off mentions.
Giving him his flops. I've looked up a bunch of like caracal fake Pokemon because people like try to make them. It's very cute.
Some Floppamon. I had wanted to do one, but I currently don't have room in my decks. Also, they're not very like American, and I'm doing like an American theme.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so like
eventually I will do
a hamburger Pokemon and like a student loans Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the starters: hamburger, student loans, and raising gas prices.
Yeah. It took me like for 5 seconds I thought of like a bunch of much worse things flashed through my mind, and I was like, I can't say any of those, and then I was like, student loans.
Can't get much worse than student loans. God bless.
He's gonna have.
What do crowns look like? Like actually,
they're like pointy. You could give him like, you know, in SpongeBob when Larry the cucumber has like the thing that's attached to his head that's a crown.
I do not, because I was not a sponge boy.
Halfway through I was like, he might know this one. I'm just gonna keep going.
I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob as a kid.
I'm sorry.
Were you the one who sent me that tweet?
Yeah, the meme that's like people who weren't allowed to watch SpongeBob as a kid.
That's me. I'm people who wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob as a kid.
I know. I remember I always feel bad because I feel like everybody has their one thing that like everyone else has done that they haven't, and everybody goes like, how could you not have seen that? And like whenever it's somebody else's, it always sounds so dumb, but like when it's happening to you, you're like, this is so stupid. You know what I mean?
What is yours?
There were a lot of movies I hadn't seen. I remember in the beginning of college, I got a lot of shit because I hadn't seen Fight Club, so I watched Fight Club,
I
which I
still
really
haven't seen
liked.
Fight Club. I know
See,
I would like it. I just haven't
I
seen it.
like it. It's a really good movie, but there was a point in time where people were like, "How have you not seen Fight Club?" And I was like, "Bro, that's like reasonable for me to not have seen that." I remember I had a
That
friend that had never played Pokemon or known anything about
mm,
Pokemon and was really mad when people like said stuff about it.
one that like got remedied for me was I had never seen Princess Bride
Oh yeah,
until college, and then my friends are like, "We're gonna go watch that right now,"
that's
and I love
fun.
that movie. Um, Another one. I don't remember if I talked about
Hmm.
this on the podcast. I've never seen Elf, and I never want to because I think it's funny having not watched it and everyone being like, "You haven't seen Elf?"
I disagree because it's just such a you movie, and I know that you think that's why it's funny. I'm like, no, Machi will immediately regret not having watched it upon watching it.
Uh, but by saying that and willing that into existence, I will stubbornly disagree.
Well, I know that you're going like with if you didn't feel this way, obviously I'm saying like under those circumstances you would like it, but I know that you're gonna like make it a whole thing. But
I know I would like it. That's the thing, Erin. I know I would like it. I absolutely agree. It's just like a bit now, and if I can't commit to the bit, Erin, what do I have? Who am I as a person?
I don't know, you got like Bananagrams and Cat in the Hat and May the 4th. You still got plenty of bits.
Right? But like this is one of my defining ones.
Look at
Right?
Floppa. He's so mad that you won't watch Elf. Look at
Right?
how
You
upset you
can't
made him.
no one will take my elf virginity.
As long as you like Home Alone, we can be friends
I
still.
do like Home Alone. It is a top
Oh,
5 Christmas movie.
I forgot to draw like one of my whole ass ideas. Hold on. I'm just going to incorporate it somehow. Hold on. Wait. What if I don't know how I want to do this.
What?
There's something I wanted to put on him, but I already drew it, so I can't. I'm gonna go for it. It'll make it better. I'm gonna put something where his tail is,
Oh boy.
so that way he's a little more mystical than just being a caracal in a shirt.
I don't know. I feel like that's pretty good Pokemon material. I'd
It
catch
is.
him.
Oh, absolutely, but like this will make him even better.
Is it gonna be a tree?
No, but good guess.
I'm just like watching you do this, like in trepidation. Is it a spatula?
No,
Is it a fucking martini? Oh, oops.
it's
Is it
you
a
gotta
martini
bleep
glass?
that. It's you're close.
It's that like big glass from Kalahari.
You'll see what it is. A little lighter. A little lighter. Okay, he's gonna get.
And I think I'm almost done.
I'm
I
getting
just gotta
close.
I just gotta name this bad boy.
I have a name. Oops. I don't like that thing I just drew.
I'm thinking now about the lasagna I got in my fridge, just waiting, calling for me.
She just calls to
I can
you.
hear it. Mancha, come eat me here, my lasagna.
The lasagna is crying to you. Oh, he's beautiful.
Margaritaville.
He's Flopparita.
Oh, that's so good. I think you could make him water poison.
Wow, no, his margaritas have restoring properties.
I mean, fairy would also work. I was just saying alcohol is a poison.
Let me take a look at the Pokemon types.
Fairy, I think, would be good. You could do like water grass.
I do like water poison. But he's gonna drink it.
Well, he could be immune to his own poison. Poison
sure.
Pokemon can't get
Or
poisoned.
it could just be, like regular alcohol levels of poison.
That's what I was thinking. You just get a little goofy.
I like that snail a lot. That's a good snail. All right. So what's your guys' name?
I was trying to figure that out. I've got it.
Okay.
So you should write Flopparita on the thing.
Let me write it down here.
I can't see it on the screen. I have to zoom out.
Yeah.
My name is mine. I have decided is S Zargo.
Oh my god.
And I think I'm between like rock and steel for mine. I think steel.
Oh,
makes
wait,
more
you know
sense.
what I want to do actually? He should just be water, and then his evolution will be a frozen margarita, and he can be ice.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I think that we really knocked this one out of the park. What's the Flopparita lore?
Flopparita lore. He's like an island Pokemon, so one of like the island regions, and he just kind of hangs out and has a good time. And his tail is a margarita glass that constantly replenishes itself, and it's just like regular margarita in there, and you can drink it.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I guess he like fires beams of margarita out of his mouth and like water beams people with that.
Would you drink out of the Flopparita tail?
Yes. Yes, I would. Whole time I was drawing it, I was like, man, I want margarita right
now. I think the Zargo lore is that like probably first evolution was like a slug who was like a peasant, and then he eventually through some manner of marrying or potentially like what's the word I'm looking for? Like revolution becomes the king. And now he is the tyrant that he once hated.
Okay. I like
but
him.
He's got riches, so who cares?
I like his teeth.
He doesn't have as great defense for a snail because like his crown is open.
He
but
looks like he'd be a Deltarune or Undertale character.
Oh no. He does. That scares me. I wasn't going for that. I was just going for like a little guy.
Maybe you just draw like that on accident and you're like not capable of controlling it.
It's partially probably because I used the pixel brush.
Oh, true.
All right.
I was gonna say, yeah, my guy's evolution, Frozarita, and he just gets like a little bigger, and then he's like blue, and then there's like icicles on his flop tufts, and the margarita's frozen.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Cool.
That's the bit. That's it.
I gave him the flattest face on accident.
I really like it. Honestly, really good job. He's got a lot of spunk.
So you can look forward to these in the new game, Pokemon Scarlet Violet.
Yep, you can catch them. This is a real Pokemon leak. You'll see them in the game.
Yeah, they used our art.
They in fact made a new mechanic, so you could just get drunk in Scarlet Violet with Flopparita. Just get plastered.
They are now rated T for teen.
Yep. So, I think that is going to be it for us today. So, thank you for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, give us ideas for segments. We're always taking ideas. And thank you for all the support you've given us so far.
That's so true. Thanks, you guys. And thanks, my mom, for correcting us on things we say wrong on the podcast.
And for telling you to not do hot chip challenge ever again.
Oh, yeah, my mom sent me a text like, don't ever do that one chip challenge again. Horrible idea. And I sent it in the chat, and I was like, look, my mom yelled at me. Anyway, hi, Mom. You can follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at appetizercast. And you can follow either of us at Erin MacDaddy or Moth Mancha.
With that, be sure to tip your waitresses. Catch Flopparita and SR Go and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and we'll see you next time.
I think I'll have myself a Flopparita right now.